job to go back to the wide-open receiver who was Donald Lee in motion, and Favre is going to pass. Pump fake going deep. He's got Jennings wide open. Sean Taylor over, and he picks it off. Sean has it, and he's still in bounds at the 25-30 to the 35-40. Almost to the 40. He pitches it back to Rocky McIntosh, who's going to lose some yardage in the process, back to the 30-yard line.
How many interceptions is that for?
That's 2 this afternoon for Sean Taylor. Now Anquan Bolden in motion to the right. Warner under center, back to pass. Looking over the middle, fires. It's picked off. Sean Taylor with it, off to the races, 40, to the 50, 45, to the 30-yard line, out of bounds. His 5th interception of the year.
Redskins safety Sean Taylor remains in critical condition in a Miami area hospital after being shot in the groin early Monday morning. The 24-year-old Taylor was shot at his Miami area home in a move Redskins Vice President Vinny Cerrato labeled as, quote, a deliberate attack, end quote. The shooting took place roughly 8 days after a first break-in on Taylor's property where nothing was stolen but a knife was left on Taylor's bed. Now, according to the Miami Herald, when his girlfriend, who was there at the time, tried to call 911, she found that the phone lines to the house had been cut. Taylor was airlifted to a trauma center where he underwent 7 hours of surgery, flatlining twice during the procedure, according to the Washington Post. Reaction from his Redskins teammates ranged from shock to disbelief.
This is bigger than football. This is not just a member of the Washington Redskins, but we're talking about a dad, a brother.
You know, we play this game and we enjoy this game, but at the same time, it's a game. At the end of the day, this ain't nothing you live and die for. What you live and die for is your kids. You live and die for your family.
For all of us, we reflect on life and we see how fragile life is. All of us are emotional right now, caught up in it, and I'm living it, you know, an hour at a time here. I think we all are.
Our hearts and prayers go out to Sean and his family. Myself and a group of Redskins are on our way to Miami.
We're just waiting and hoping we're going to hear some good news real soon.
And we do have some good news to report. Taylor's mother, in a brief interview, stated that Taylor was able late Monday to squeeze the hand of a nurse on command as well as show some facial expressions. Said Vinny Cerrato, quote, they told us to hope for a miracle, and I think the positive news we got was extremely good news, end quote. No arrests have yet been made in the attack.
A simple squeeze of a nurse's hand brought with it hope. As it turned out, it was false hope. One family friend suggested it might have just been Sean Taylor's way of saying goodbye.
Taylor died Tuesday, never regaining consciousness after an intruder shot him in his Miami home Monday morning. The bullet severed an artery in Taylor's leg and groin region, pierced a hole in the heart of the Redskins franchise. Police say upon hearing noises in his house, Sean Taylor got up, locked the door to the bedroom where he, his girlfriend, and 18-month-old baby girl had been sleeping. The door then swung open, shots fired. Taylor dropped to the floor, fatally wounded. Authorities still trying to make sense of why it happened. Botched break-in, a deliberate attack, random violence. Also hard to figure the math of Taylor's life. Deceased 2007 minus born 1983 makes for just 24 years. And an infant daughter left to learn about her father from stories and snapshots. Dana Jacobson tells of the football.
Blessed with the size of a middle linebacker and the speed of a cover cornerback, Sean Taylor was the prototype of the modern-day safety in the NFL. At 6'2", 212 pounds, he covered and clobbered any receivers who came his way. In college, Taylor starred for the Miami Hurricanes. As a true freshman, he played as a nickel and dime back for the Canes national championship team in 2001. 1 year later, he played in his second straight national title game at the Fiesta Bowl, picking off 2 passes in a loss to Ohio State. During his junior year, Taylor recorded 10 interceptions and returned 3 for touchdowns.
The Washington Redskins select Sean Taylor.
In 2004, the Washington Redskins selected Taylor, the first of 6 Hurricane players drafted in the first round. Given the nickname Meast by teammates, which stands for half man, half beast, Taylor earned the starting safety job by week 3 of his rookie year and started 13 games that season. His first career interception came in week 6 against the Bears in the 4th quarter, sealing a Redskins victory. But it was also around this time that a pattern of run-ins with the law and behavioral issues began. 10 days after his first career interception, Taylor was arrested for allegedly driving drunk and for failure to take a breathalyzer test. 5 months later, he was acquitted on all charges. In June of 2005, Taylor was charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated assault with a firearm and misdemeanor battery related to an incident where he allegedly pointed a gun at 2 people. If convicted, Taylor faced up to 46 years in prison. But after numerous postponements and a change in prosecuting attorneys, charges were reduced in a plea deal in which Taylor was given 18 months probation. During his career, Taylor was fined on 7 different occasions for late hits and other infractions, but one of his lowest points of on-field behavior came during the 2005 Wild Card playoff game against Tampa Bay. In the same game where Taylor returned a fumble 51 yards for what proved to be the game-winning score, he was ejected for spitting at Buccaneers running back Michael Pittman and fined $17,000 for the incident. In 2006, with his legal troubles in the past, Taylor had his finest season in Washington and was named to his first Pro Bowl. Despite his off-the-field issues, teammates were always quick to defend Taylor, saying he was as dependable as a friend as he was a teammate, and even saw a change in Taylor in recent months.
Taylor never much about the media, not well known even to those in the NFL know. Aside from his career with the Redskins, Taylor was one of 4 true freshmen to play for the Miami National Championship team in 2001. He was a criminology major in his time at Miami. As a high school senior at Gulliver Prep, he ran for a then state record 44 touchdowns. Redskins still struggling and grieving the loss of their teammate.
It's so hard for us because we're here and we're going to miss him. And I'm not talking about as obviously as a player. I'm talking about as a person.
We really are so saddened by what's taken place, and we really will miss Sean.
I think a roller coaster is probably a pretty apt term for what everybody around here has gone through. I went to bed last night thinking that you know, the worst thing that we might have to deal with is an extended recovery and rehabilitation. And obviously, like everybody else, I was really saddened this morning to hear that that's not the case.
He's just a special person, and you know, he will truly be missed by all of us. You know, I hold him close to our hearts, and you know, it's just a tough situation right now. You know, and
the shock of it right now is the hardest part, especially with maybe some encouraging words last night going to bed. To hear the news this morning is still really hard to handle. I mean it's real. So.
And reaction from the top of the league, Commissioner Roger Goodell. The entire NFL is deeply saddened by the death of Sean Taylor. We extend our heartfelt sympathy to Sean's family, friends, teammates, and the Redskins organization. This is a terrible tragedy involving the loss of a young man who leaves behind many people struggling to understand it. Our office is staying in close contact with the Redskins to provide all appropriate support to the club and Sean's family. We also are working to determine the facts surrounding this tragic event. We will honor the memory of Sean Taylor at all games this weekend.
And for the second straight night, a vigil was held on the grounds near Redskin Park. There were makeshift memorials there and at the team stadium in Landover, Maryland. Flowers up and down the East Coast, including several bouquets left at the home of Sean Taylor in suburban Miami, which looked more like a crime scene on Tuesday as authorities from Miami-Dade Police and the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives were in and out throughout the day. As Rachel Nichols reports now, police have no description of a possible suspect.
As the break-in at Sean Taylor's house officially became a homicide investigation, police spent Tuesday removing physical evidence, like Taylor's computer, and examining phone boxes and entry points on the house's exterior. They also continued to investigate whether Monday's shooting is related to a separate break-in that occurred at Taylor's house more than a week ago. In that incident, an intruder left a kitchen knife on Taylor's bedroom pillow.
They're looking at both cases, the burglary from yesterday, and they're definitely looking at yesterday's case and see if there's any similarities. And as I mentioned before, the forced entry signs that are at the residence, they're checking and see if in fact this occurred yesterday or if it occurred a week ago.
Several friends and family members also came by the house, including Taylor's father, Pedro, who is the police chief in nearby Florida City. Investigators warn the family it could be a while before they have a lead in the case.
This is a homicide case. It's a very delicate case. I mean, all homicide cases are very delicate, and they'll look at every single possible details to see if they can link it to any particular person. And because of that, the information is going to come very slow. It's only been 24 hours that this occurred, and 24 hours in a homicide case is equivalent to 10 minutes of real time.
As family members talk to police, new details of the shooting itself are emerging. Family lawyer Richard Sharpstein told me that Taylor's girlfriend describes hearing an intruder in the middle of the night and going to grab hers and Taylor's infant daughter, who was sleeping in a crib in their bedroom. She says she was hiding under the covers with the baby in her arms when the intruder broke through the locked door and fatally shot Taylor. In Miami, I'm Rachel Nichols, ESPN.
This statement from Florida City Police Chief Pedro Taylor, and yes, last name not a coincidence. Pedro Taylor, as Rachel pointed out, is Sean's father. Quote, "It is with deep regret that a young man had to come to his end so soon. Many of his fans loved him because of the way he played football. Many of his opponents feared him, the way he approached the game. Others misunderstood him. Many appreciated him, and his family loved him." End quote. More reaction now from around the football world. A different kind of family, beginning with his college coach at Miami, Larry Coker.
It's just a shock. I know the report of the gunshot wound, and then, but positively thinking, you're feeling like there's good medical care, and he was going to be okay. And then this morning I hear that he had passed, and just a tragedy. You know, my thoughts and prayers for sure go out to his family.
He was a guy who was obviously a great talent on the field, and I know, just from what people have said, they really, the people that he's close with just love the guy, and I think he's going to be obviously missed tremendously up there in Washington.
You know, we play this game football, but life is a lot more important than what we do, and it's unfortunate. And then we were watching film this morning just to see him out there and just to see he's not here anymore.
It's life, man, and it's harsh, but that kind of lets you know where you at, and I've always been saying this year, man, can't take anything for granted.
A young person loses their life, you seen what really it kind of puts life in a proper perspective. And when you lose a young man like that, the prime of his life, it sets you back, and you think about all the things you really feel bad about, and you figure out, you know what, that's really not too important.
Pedro Taylor said he saw his son just a few weeks ago. Said they had a wonderful time, laughed and joked until 3 in the morning. We did what fathers and dads do, and brothers and sisters. We just enjoyed each other. Sean Taylor was 24 years old.
First defensive play of the game for the Redskins. As a tribute to Taylor, they only put 10 defenders on the field. Taylor's replacement, Reed Doughty, sitting the play out. So Buffalo's rookie, Fred Jackson, took advantage with a 22-yard gain. And then in the end, Doughty would hop back on the field. But he said the team needed to do this. On an emotional day, here is Rachel Nichols.
Sean Taylor was missing Sunday, but he was everywhere too. In a memorial in grass, in cutout signs, in homemade hats, on the back of truck windows. All week, the Redskins talked about the playing field as an escape from grief. But on this day, there weren't enough yards to outrun Taylor's memory.
It was hard. Like my first 2 drives, I actually cried through the drive because I'm used to looking back there, seeing him there, and he made me always feel safe. Point blank, as a corner man, to look back there and see 21 back there was a blessing. So the first time I didn't look back there, I didn't see him. It kind of got to me.
You thought of Sean every second, and for the most part, we tried to put our pain aside to go and play football. But sometimes it's hard to put that aside.
Taylor's uniform still hung in his locker, but the defensive players felt his presence so strongly, they came out for their first play with just 10 men on the field. They said it was a fitting way to start the game, but a last-second loss was a hard ending.
I showed up for a tribute for my friend, just seeing him all right, and we found a way to mess it up.
We had a buzz around here, and to come out at the end of the game and be deflated like we was, I mean, it was tough.
Now, we wanted to win this for him point blank, but we talking about death. Winning the game ain't gonna ease death.
That ease is still a ways off. players who left the stadium in the evening darkness knew that they'd be gathering again before sunrise Monday to travel to Miami for Taylor's funeral. Then they'll have to come right back and prepare for a Thursday game against the Bears. I asked defensive end Philip Daniels, how are they going to do that? And he said, how are we able to do any of this? I couldn't begin to tell you. At FedEx Field, I'm Rachel Nichols, ESPN.
Sean Taylor's memory honored throughout the NFL Sunday. Decals of Taylor's number 21 on all of the team's helmets. Players reflecting during moments of silence before every single game as the sport remembered one of their own.
The family of Taylor held a viewing for him Sunday.